C notes.
You gotta see. You gotta see.
Alright, let's get it going. Big six.
Okay, I'm back with another kind of rendition, should I say, of. I'm back with another rendition, or should I say, of keeping up with the OKC Thunder. This is our first episode back from the All Star Weekend. So, with us being back from the All Star Weekend, let's just go and get right into it. Few of our players are represented. We had Jalen Williams and Josh Giddey both playing in the Rising Stars game. Isaiah Joe, it was of course snubbed from the 3-point contest and replaced with Julius Randle, who of course stunk it up. Not surprising there. He's probably the worst 3-point shooter there, but I'm not about to be petty. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who first time All Star, didn't get much playing time. He only played like maybe 10 minutes. And funny enough, he got his shot blocked for some reason by LeBron. And even more, he kind of cracks a joke about it, talking about how LeBron was playing no defense. And he goes and blocks a shot, talking about, give me that. And then that became a big thing on Twitter. I don't get it. I'm not going to get into any big deal about the All Star weekend. I don't think it was just an awful weekend, or people were saying, oh man, All Star week needs to be fixed. It's whatever. Like, either you enjoy it, you enjoy it. You don't, you don't. I didn't watch any of the events live. I was busy, so I caught them on the back end, and I thought they were okay. I had a good time watching them, but I don't expect it to be some big grandiose thing. But that's besides the point. We're kind of in this place now of, I believe the Thunder are still sitting at 28 and 29, and there is this thing where I've been kind of loving, where this team, when it's time for them to officially hit 500, they always, without a chance, shit the bed. You had the controversial Pelicans game towards the end. I'm not even talking about that. Um, the Warriors game that was supposed to help get them close to 500, and at least help to get closer to 500, and that didn't happen. Well, both Warriors games, they didn't happen either. And now we're here, 28 and 29, and I feel like for the umpteenth time this season, we're always talking about this stretch of games will make or break, and it's important to tell us about the Thunder season, what they're going to do. We started with the quote unquote toughest schedule in the season, and both it's toughest schedule and the toughest 10 game stretch. How people thought we were going 1-9, we went 4-6, and so on and so on and so on. We're 28 and 29 as a team that was projected to only win, depending on who you ask. Bleacher Report, it was 18 games. John Hollinger was 20 games. Vegas, it was 23, and the betting line was 23 and a half. And we're kind of right in the mix where I said we are going to be. I was around roughly 30 something games. My personal prediction was 36. And it's like any chance you kind of give this team to kind of try to stealth tank by giving them giving other players just like some minutes, they find a way to just still come around and win. And now here's the stretch of games we have. And now I will actually agree, for the first time this season, this is a stretch that is going to tell us a lot, not just because of who we're playing, but where these teams are kind of placed as well. In the next 10 games, you have the Jazz. Let me see. You have the Jazz, the Suns, the Kings twice, the Lakers, the Jazz twice, Warriors, Suns, and Pelicans. That's the next 10 games. And then one game after that, I have one game after that. It's me getting way ahead of myself. But just in that 10 game stretch, they played the Jazz 3 times, the Kings twice. You have another Lakers game, and the Warriors and Pelicans. The reason why I actually do agree in saying it's not necessarily a tough stretch, but every team is going to be trying their best. Now, the Jazz, that's kind of up in the air on what they're going to do. I know this is whole thing of tanking with them. I don't necessarily think it's a tank with them per se, but more so, some teams just kind of run out of steam. And with this team running out of steam, uh, it may not be in their best interest to still be fighting for a playing spot. They might just do it off the will of their players are going to want to win. The players naturally aren't going to want to roll over. They're going to try their hardest. But we looking at the Jazz and playing the Jazz 3 times. They're the 11th seed currently, sitting at 29 and 31. With them sitting at 29 and 31 at the 11th seed, this can either push the Thunder down to 11 in the Jazz 10 slot, or they can kind of establish a gap, a definable gap in that 10-11, or the Jazz will fall to 12 because, there's not many games separating them from each other. And then the Suns, they play the Suns on Friday on live television. KD's not going to make his appearance until the week after. Thankfully, because that stretch kind of gets somewhat a little easier because there's 3 Suns games coming up just for the rest of the season. The Kings are back-to-back. The interesting thing about the Kings being a back-to-back is this is a team that can be beaten by the Thunder, but will they? The Kings are more in a comfortable playoff spot. It's almost at this point they're not guaranteed a slot off of record-wise, but I don't see much movement of them like falling. Then after that, you have the Lakers again on Wednesday, March 1st. The Lakers are also trying to solidify themselves into playing as well. So that's going to be a tough battle, and I'm excited for that one. And of course, the Jazz are another back-to-back. The Warriors have kicked our ass, for lack of better words, every game. So hopefully, can they come away with one? We don't know. Then Suns, that's probably when KD's going to actually be in the lineup. And then the Pelicans again. We still have no word on Zion. And even the game without Zion went down to the wire. So this is going to be an interesting stretch. And it's going to kind of, as I always say, dictate what's going to happen. I think most people want them to go to the play-in or be out of the play until the tank and not tank, but just be in the lottery. It's kind of interesting to where I think they can make the play-in, like solidify their play-in spot and not just be on the outside looking in by the end of that 10-game stretch. Will they? It all depends on rotations. I'm not necessarily saying that they can't do it, but it's very possible that they can. So I'm actually excited to see what happens. Either way, they're kind of in a win-win situation if the stretch goes our way. If it doesn't, this is a no-pressure season. And if they play well, that means they're kind of ahead of schedule. And you're looking for this team to definitely make a lot of noise next season. They're going to make a lot of noise next season anyway. But you will kind of start to see them on a bigger stage. And I'll definitely be getting tickets to their play-in game if they do make the play-in. Or if they don't make the play, get a home play-in game, which I think you have to be a 90 to get a home play-in game. Then you can just finish out the games, just whatever. Keep your lottery odds at a good chance, and hope that you get somewhere between the 9 to 12 slot, because I believe through the mock drafts. I just go through Tankathon. I don't really read mock drafts like that. Sorry, my voice is messed up. I'm kind of sick. But I believe I was gonna say Brandon Miller, but I don't know how that's gonna go. That's not. I'm not gonna talk about that. Brandon Miller's he's about to go third. So if we get somewhere through the 9 to 12 section, actually, let's stretch it to 8 to 12. Now, for the sake of it, I'll pull up NBA draft room just for a little for a twofer. If you get somewhere through 9 to 12, wow, these people college basketball things are changing. Actually, let's say best case scenario 8. If you do 8 through 12 on the best case scenario and we're out of the play-in, then from Tankathon's perspective, that's Keontae George, Grady Dick, Cam Whitmore, Hasten Wallace, Anthony Black. Specifically for Anthony Black and Cam Whitmore, these are people who I've been eyeing from the beginning of the season, and them falling, we're kind of been, since this draft class looking to be a lot deeper than people expected. I feel like every draft class now is going to be deep because of there's so much talent, young talent coming into the league, then we're kind of going to be in a good spot to get a guy. I think Keontae George is great. I think Grady Dick is probably going to be the better shooter of this entire draft, and I think you can never have too many shooters. I think he'll slide in a slot perfectly. He's a 6'7" shooter. Cam Whitmore, I like his fit as a forward who you can play right next to Chet. Casey Wallace is good. We just serve two stacked on point guards. And Anthony Black is definitely like an OKC guy. You kind of just see how he plays. He'll fit the system a little bit better than most of the prospects. And then from NBA mock draft, from NBA draft room, 8 to 12, you have Grady Dick, Taylor Hendricks, Anthony Black, Jet Howard, and Asar Thompson. I'm not too high on Asar Thompson because they're two raw prospects, and I don't think they're going to develop, but they're a little bit too raw for me personally. Jet Howard, I do not know much about him except for he's Juwan Howard's son. Interesting. Anthony Black is literally a perfect fit next to us. And Grady Dick, I love Grady Dick. And Taylor Hendricks, first of all, if we get Grady Dick, that's gonna be like one of the first jerseys I buy the moment they go on sale. Taylor Hendricks, high skill, big wing forward, shooting range. He's someone in Thunder group chat to kind of describes him as a bigger Lou Dort, which I think would be perfect because the downside about Lou Dort is his height. And then you can that's the only real downside about Lou Dort is he's small. He's somebody he's like a pit bull. You can kind of sick him, or like a Rottweiler, just kind of sick him on whoever the best scorer is and just hope he gives him fits. And a lot of times he does give him fits. But offensively, we're kind of looking at size, length, and just Swiss Army knife versatility. Lou Dort, it does not have that as much per se, but I still love the guy. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So we can either just make a run for the play-in and just go, yeah, this is our time to go. We're here. It's the arrival. Establish yourself as the best young core in the league and going to be the better team coming up forward. And then hoping you reach a future dynasty. And this is like the first moment of it. I hope you get to play in. Hope you make the playoffs. Give a team fits. Whoever play in the first seed, just give them a big fit. In the same way that the 2010 OKC Thunder did against the eventual champions of the 2010 Lakers. Take them to 6 games. We can hope for that, which that'll be amazing. Or get yourself one more swing in the lottery and get yourself that guy. That'll be a great fit and establish yourself as like the best young core in the league. You could do that, or then essentially you'll have Shea surrounded by 5 lottery picks. Essentially, you have with Josh Giddey. You surround him with Josh Giddey, Ousmane Dieng, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and whoever you pick in this draft. 5 lottery picks, and that's going to be an amazing team. Or so either way, it's a good situation for all of us. So that's kind of where my head is at. I will be back to kind of just next week sometime to give us an update on where we're at with the games and how we're looking. So there you have it. I'm your host. This is kind of us keeping up with OKC Thunder this season. You all take care, and I'll catch you next week.